Welcome, boys and girls. My name is Piqi and I'm with Footshop here today, and we'd like to welcome you to a new series in which we're going to be delving deep into the facts and historical relevance of streetwear and sneaker culture. It's going to get really deep, folks. So sit back, relax, get yourself a nice cold beer if you're over 18 or over 21 in the US, and here we go. Today, we're gonna be counting down the top 10 sneaker moments in movies, and we're gonna start from the old school, back in 1982. First on the list is in 1982 in a film starring Sean Penn called Fast Times at Ridgemount High. The film is about a group of Southern California high school students who are enjoying the best subjects of school, including sex, drugs, and rock and roll. The story goes, Sean Penn was out one day shopping for a pair of comfortable sneakers when he walked into the Santa Monica Vans store. There, he found a pair of checkerboard slip-ons, and they were so comfortable that he went and asked the director, Amy Heckerling, if he could wear them in the film. The film became the 1982 summer blockbuster hit, putting Sean Penn on the map and doing even more for Vans. Yes, even your parents wore Vans, and it probably meant way more to them than it means to you. Next up, we fast forward to 1984, where we find the famous Nike Vandals in the first Terminator. Disguised as a human, Arnold Schwarzenegger, known as the Terminator in the film, travels from the year 2029 to 1984 to kill Sarah O'Connor. Now, Kyle Reese is sent from the same year to help protect Sarah Connor. When Kyle Reese ends up in the past, he wakes up in a flash of lightning naked, and the first thing he does is go and find a pair of trousers. He finds some homeless guy, puts on his poopy trousers, and then the cops see him and he starts running upstairs to a local department store. In the department store, Vandal goes looking for items to match his outfit. He picks up some sweatshirt or something, and then he grabs a pair of Nike Vandals, puts them on, the camera frame lowers, and we see that nice silver Nike swoosh. What a moment for Terminator fans. In 2015, Terminator Genesis decided to recreate the moment in the new film, but they didn't do such a good job. Nike had a limited release of the Nike Vandal during that year, but it totally flopped, and Terminator fans asked Nike if they were going to release it again, and Nike said they had no plans to reissue the sneaker as of yet. So we'll see. Next up, we move to the year 1985 in the film Back to the Future 2 with Marty McFly and Dr. Brown. Everyone knows the film. Marty McFly goes back 30 years accidentally to the year 1955, goes back to the future again in the second one to go back in 1985 to make sure he didn't mess up. I don't know, I've already gotten lost. Anyhow, let's skip the time travel theory because I don't want my head to explode. Nike has a really special moment in this film where Marty McFly puts on a pair of self-lacing sneakers known as the Nike Air Mags. In 2011, Nike did a limited release of the sneakers inspired by the film, and interestingly enough, in 2018, the original pair was auctioned off for about $100,000, and half the sneakers weren't even attached because they were so old they started to crumble and wither away. However, some nerd somewhere has the pair of the original Air Mags, and he's happy. Next up, in 1987, we have Police Academy 4, in which we see a group of skateboarders led by David Spade wearing the Air Jordan 1s. Now, it wasn't actually David Spade and the actor skateboarding. They were in fact replaced with stunt doubles from the famous Bones Brigade. Turns out their manager, Stacy Peralta, was working as the second unit director on the film, and all were wearing during a 4-minute skate sequence Air Jordan 1s. Another interesting fact was that Tony Hawk was supposed to play David Spade. However, he got fired because he was too tall to be the stunt double. Sorry, Tony Hawk, you missed your opportunity, man. Next up, we fast forward to 1989 and Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. The movie is about a local street corner in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. It's the hottest day of the summer and everyone's bigotry and hatred boils up and explodes into violence by the end. Well, the film is known for its fashion taste, especially for its sneakers. And we're gonna focus on the Air Jordan 4s, which had an incredibly hilarious moment in the film. So as you can see, the character bugging out gets super pissed off at a local Celtics fan who steps on his Air Jordan 4s. He leaves a big scuff mark. And crazy enough, recently they released a pair of customized bugging out Air Jordan 4s with the scuff mark already made on the sneaker. Would you buy them with the scuff mark already there? We'll see. Next up, in the same year of 1989, we saw the film White Man Can't Jump, starring Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. In the film, Woody Harrelson plays Billy Hoyle, who is a white basketball player who hustles black basketball players by them underestimating him as a white ball player. So they think he can't play basketball, and then he just starts, shooting three-pointers on them, and then he wins the money. Wesley Snipes plays a character called Sidney. Wesley Snipes sees Woody Harrelson's con, and they join teams, and they go around Los Angeles running this scam where people think he can't play, and the movie is incredibly hilarious, but Woody Harrelson has some problems with the mafia somehow, and you gotta see it for yourself. It's a classic. Anyhow, I think this film has the most sneaker game in history, but we're gonna focus on the Nike Air Command Force, which were worn by Woody Harrelson as his character Billy Hoyle in the film. It's really funny that Woody was wearing these sneakers because they were not popular with white suburban kids at the time, so it made it even more hilarious that Woody is sporting them on the basketball court. It's definitely one of my favorites on the list because both characters together. I love Woody Harrelson and I love Wesley Snipes. Like, oh man, it's a classic. I'm a 90s kid. You guys gotta see that. I'm blushing. I love that film. Oh. Next up, in 1994, we have the film we all know, Forrest Gump. It's a classic. You guys have to see it. If you haven't, go see that. In the film, starring Tom Hanks, the presidencies of Kennedy and Johnson, Watergate, Vietnam, and other moments in history are explained through the perspective of an Alabama man with an IQ of only 75. Now, there's a moment when Forrest Gump decides to take a short trip around the country running in a pair of Nike Cortez. This is a famous pair and a special pair because it's the all-American pair. It's got red, white, and blue colors, of course, and he actually runs around the whole entire country somehow. Incredible. Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest. The shoe has made a huge comeback, most recently with Nike choosing hot model Bella Hadid as their campaign star in the new Cortez campaign, which is inspired by the 1970s. It's full of skateboarding, 70s aesthetic, and gives Nike that cool retro vibe that everyone's going for right now. Good job, Nike. I want to cop a pair soon, but I gotta get a pair of bell bottoms first and some flares and a nice, Actually, I'm rocking my 70s swag today. I could go for a pair of Forrest Gumps. Let us know what you think. Let's hit the next one up. Next up, in 1997, we saw He Got Game, another Spike Lee flick starring basketball star Ray Allen and Denzel Washington. Denzel plays Ray Allen's father, who is trying to get his son to go to college so that he can get a lighter prison sentence. In the film, Ray Allen sports the Air Jordan 13s, and the film had such a huge effect on the sneaker that they became known as the He Got Games. The sneaker was re-released in 2013, and rumors have it that they're gonna release it again at the end of August this year. Let's see what happens. Next up, in 2003, we have an incredible film directed by Quentin Tarantino himself, Kill Bill 2, starring Uma Thurman. In the film, Uma Thurman, the bride, goes on a killing spree, seeking revenge on all of those who wronged her. In part 2, she still has to continue to kill the rest of the people on the list, and in one scene, she wears the Onitsuka Tiger Tai Chis with a yellow and black striped tracksuit, or jumpsuit, whichever one it is. The director Quentin Tarantino chose the style and sneakers to pay homage to one of his idols, Bruce Lee, who wore something similar in Enter the Dragon and Game of Death. Definitely check out both those films and Kill Bill. Part 1, 2, is there a third one too? Whatever, doesn't matter, you can cut that part. Next up, we have an incredibly hilarious film in 2013. It's called White House Down, starring Jamie Foxx, in which Jamie Foxx plays the President of the United States. Now, in one scene, Jamie Foxx is rolling around and wrestling with a terrorist, and at one point he yells at the terrorist, "Get your hands off my Jordans, fool!"
Get your hands off my Jordans!
As you can see, he's wearing the fire red Air Jordan 4s. Now, this film didn't have much an effect on the sneaker. However, it was just an incredibly hilarious moment. And I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let us know if we missed anything. And we're definitely gonna be coming back next time with another list of even some more recent films starring some of your most favorite kicks. So, I'm Piqi Mickey with Footshop. Stay tuned, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.